Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? Joey Schirkenbach is back here with another video for you guys, and it is Saturday night, and here we go with the Conference Championship weekend. Got two games coming up tomorrow, AFC Championship and NFC Championship, and I'm going to be giving you my game picks for those two games. So, let's jump right on into it, guys, without further ado. So, first game, AFC Championship is first this year. We have the 4-seeded Bengals at the 2-seeded Chiefs. Been a long, long time since the Bengals were in the AFC Championship game. That is impressive. Yeah, I mean, the Bengals. I've been saying how I was worried about them in the playoffs. Assuming that you're a Bengals fan, because I think that they were too young, and it would be a learning experience for them. But they have certainly lived up to the challenge. I mean, they didn't play great against the Raiders, but they got the job done. But then they went into Tennessee and took out the number 1 seed. Again, they didn't play their best, but they got the job done. Their defense played very, very well. So the Bengals are roaring right now. At the same time, their offense has not been the best. I think it's kind of been their defense that's been leading the charge. Against Las Vegas, they were decent offensively. And against the Titans, they really did not play well. Their offensive line was horrible. They let up, 9 sacks, was it? Titans' pass rush is very good. But the Bengals' offense did not play very well in that game. It was the defense that won them that game. And in a game against the Chiefs, chances are the defense is not going to be able to hold up. The offense is going to need to play really, really well. And I'm not totally sure that that's going to happen. I mean, it's possible, but I think we learned our lesson. You can just never bet against Mahomes in the playoffs. Like, I don't know if any other quarterback other than Mahomes is doing that last week. 13 seconds left, and he gets in a field goal range. Like, how does he do it? It's unbelievable. I know the Bills acted like they didn't want to win that game. They ran prevent defense for no reason, but still, it's just unbelievable. And like when the stakes are high and the Bills get that touchdown to go up 3 with 13 seconds left, a lot of times the confidence for the other team is just depleted, and you're like, oh, game's over, we can't do it. It's not what Mahomes does, man. He could not care less that they scored. He was like, all right, it's time to get into field goal range. That's exactly what they did. You just gotta love what Mahomes can do, man. He's just so good. And then back to my point about the Bengals. Burrow, who is having a very good year, but he has not been the best in the playoffs. He didn't play great last week, and he was okay against the Raiders. He's also on the road. I mean, I know he wasn't on the road last week, but the Chiefs have a very explosive offense. Granted, the Bengals did beat the Chiefs earlier this year. That was a shootout, but the Bengals won the battle. But that was in Cincinnati, and that was a regular season game. Winning at Arrowhead in the playoffs is so hard to do. Only one team has done it, and that's the 2018 Patriots, and that was with, Tom Brady. So, only one team has done that. So, with that in mind, I got to go with the Chiefs here. If the Bills won against the Chiefs, I would kind of take them to kind of dominate the Bengals here, because I think that the Bills are a really bad matchup for the Bengals, because the Bills have granted, their defense played horribly last week. Yeah, I just want to make this clear. It was horrible, and it sold in the end. But in general, the Bills' defense is very good, and it's much better than the Chiefs. So if the Bills won last week, as I said, I think they're a bad matchup for the Bengals, because they have a defense that can keep up. The Bills' offense is, of course, unbelievable. But also, the defense, I think, for the Bills could keep up. I'm not sure I trust the Chiefs' defense to keep up. It kind of sucks. It might be a shootout. Meanwhile, if the Bills played the Bengals, I kind of think the Bills would be able to dominate, because they'd be great on offense. And again, the defense may not play great, but it would be able to keep up and give them a comfortable win. Because the Bills, they have a great secondary, even without Tre'Davious White, good defense in general, and of course, their offense is unbelievable. So, it's not the Bills, though. So I think that the Chiefs are a better matchup for the Bengals, at least in my opinion. I would like the Bengals' chances better against the Chiefs, and that's exactly what they're getting here. But I got to go with the Chiefs. They're at home. Betting against Mahomes in the playoffs is just never a good idea. So I'm going to go with KC here, guys. Let's go with Kansas City, 34-27. Going to be a good game, I think. Next game, guys, this is our final game, the NFC Championship. We have the 6-seeded Niners at the 4-seeded Rams. So this is going to be really, really interesting. I mean, what playoff games aren't? But you still get the point. Niners. Wow. Big time upset over the Packers a week ago. Granted, they got lucky. Okay, the Packers sold. Their special teams was awful, and they kind of gave the Niners that win. But hey, a win is a win. They got the job done. Their defense played really, really well. I mean, holding the Packers to 10 points is very impressive. So the Niners are feeling good right now. They've been underdogs back-to-back weeks, and they've gotten the job done. This time, they're going to be underdogs again, I would have to think. And, of course, the last time these two teams met in Week 18, it was in the same stadium. Rams went up, but the Niners pulled off an incredible comeback and won it in overtime, I think it was. So the Niners can beat the Rams, and the Niners like to give the Rams a hard time. I'm not going to say they own the Rams. The Rams have won their battles against the Niners, but the Niners are not a team that the Rams will blow by. Absolutely not. And the Rams they love to just choke. I mean, oh my God, last week they played so well in the first half against the Bucs, even into the third quarter. But man, they could not have been closer to choking. They sold so hard. They did, get back on track when they came up clutch in the very end. Stafford bombing it to Kupp down the middle to get into field goal range. But man, dude, the Rams, that was just, if I was a Rams fan, that would have given me a total heart attack. They were at 27-3. The Bucs tied it. And wow, I would have been really, really concerned because, of course, the famous 28-3 when the Falcons were ahead of the Patriots in the Super Bowl. The Patriots came back and won. It was funny how it was 27-3, 1 point difference. Yet when they're 1 point less up, they ended up winning, because go figure. But anyways, the Rams are coming off a very a great win going into Tampa Bay and beating Tom Brady. But at the same time, on that flight home, there was a lot of question of what in the world happened, because they were dominating the whole game and then just totally fell apart. So anyways, that's cool for the Rams. But Stafford, props to him, man. He came up clutch in the end, got it down to Kupp, they got into field goal range, and they won the game. So this is really could go either way. The Niners are hot, though. I know both of their wins, honestly, in the playoffs have not been that pretty. They won 13-10 last week against Green Bay. And against the Cowboys, I mean, it wasn't pretty. They still had a zillion pre-snap penalties, but they got the job done. And I think if the Niners win this game, it's not going to be a pretty one, but they're going to get the job done. I got to go with the Rams, though. As I said, I just do not trust Jimmy Garoppolo. And I know I said this last week on why I thought the Packers were going to beat the Rams, but the weather makes a huge difference, too. In LA, it's not going to be 10 degrees and snowing. Not going to be the case. I don't know what the weather will be, but in that stadium, which it might even be indoors in LA, the weather is not going to be a factor. And I think the weather really helped the Niners against the Packers, because it's really hard to run a gun, air it out offense for the Packers perspective when it's that cold and snowy. So again, I think that the weather really helped out the Niners last week. The weather's not going to be there to help them out this week. So I'm going to go with the Rams. Both quarterbacks, I think, struggle in the big games and love to choke, but Stafford came up big last week. The Rams are at home. They're playing well right now. They feel confident. I'm going to go with the Rams here, guys, 24-20. I think it's going to be a very good game. And just a little side note here. If the Rams win and go to the Super Bowl, they will be hosting the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is in LA this year in that new Rams stadium. And that would make it 2 straight years. Before then, it had never happened in the history of the NFL. Last year it did happen, marking the first time the Bucs hosted the Super Bowl. This year, if the Rams win, they are hosting the Super Bowl. And what's kind of funny is the Niners, if they win, because obviously one of those teams is going to win, it's kind of like they're hosting too. It's like less than an hour of a flight for them. So although this is a road game, they're not traveling far at all. So even if the Niners win, it's kind of like they're hosting the Super Bowl too, because they're playing in the same state. So that's kind of interesting on how, throughout the whole history of the NFL, no team is hosted. Last year was a different story, and this year it could be a different story as well. So guys, I'm going to final call. Rams win 24-20. Chiefs win 34-27. And guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I am out. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the games. If you're a fan of one of these teams, good luck to you, and I will see you guys in a couple weeks.